Giant. Get ready. The Hodge Pack. Settle in right now. It is time for the Hodge Pack. Sports, life, and everything in between with Josh, Misty, and Hodge. Going live. 3, 2, 1.
Good morning and welcome to the Hodge Pack. Sports, life, and everything in between right here on 106.9 The Country Giant. We are brought to you by Lytle Landing Cattle, and we are hanging out down here in the Mall of Abilene in our Potosi Live studio. Big night last night for Abilene. We're going to talk a little bit about that and why we think last night was important. Josh and I had a pretty good conversation about that. But it's Hodge and Josh this morning right here. Misty will be with you a little bit later and joining us, but it is a good morning. And we are into April, Josh, and which means baseball's up and rolling. Final Four is here, and it's Masters next week. So it's good to be here this morning.
Oh, yeah, it is. There's a lot going on. It's definitely an exciting time in sports.
Which, and you might think, man, there's not a lot of football. There's not this going on, but there is quite a bit going on this week. And just really a lot of excitement of what March Madness has brought. We'll look at our pick'em, our college bracket challenge. I am very not in the running.
In the challenge category?
Yeah, my bracket choices were big struggles. But we'll look at that and just a lot to talk about today. Again, it is Final Four weekend. It's WrestleMania weekend. It is baseball has got a week under its belt and already a unfortunate break, if you will, has already happened with the Rangers. But we'll talk about that. Again, lots to cover today. We're glad that you're with us. Be sure you download, subscribe, rate, and review. And if you're in your car, don't forget when you get to the office, klgd1069.com. You can listen to us anywhere. And of course, we are Facebook Live and YouTube Live as well. I want to mention we got a couple of guests coming in today. Cattle auction going on at DRI. One of our favorites will be joining us in studio, John Keaty, the voice of the DRI Shredders. He'll be here this morning to talk about the cattle auction. We'll probably ask some football thoughts, get his thoughts on the Stephon Diggs trade. Lots going on, so we'll have him as well. And then we will have the head football coach from ACU, Keith Patterson, will join us in the 8 o'clock hour to talk some cool stuff that he's done with the ACU football team. He'll be starting year 3 this year. And so we'll look forward to having Coach KP, as they call him, in studio this morning as well. So a couple things, again, just want to dive in. Lawrence Hall headline report. March Madness is here. Josh, we've got, I think, a potential exciting Final Four on both sides of the bracket, but both sides of women's Final Four tonight. Of course, the story has been Caitlin Clark. Can she end with a championship? We'll talk a little bit later, especially when we get Misty in here. Does Caitlin Clark have to win a championship, or is what she's done enough? I know you've mentioned you've watched some of it, a little bit of it, but a lot more baseball. Of course, you have a daughter that plays basketball. What Caitlin Clark has done in this last probably year and a half. I mean, the funny thing is she's been there a lot longer than just the last year and this year, but she's really kind of risen to the top of TVs, basketball, everything in between.
Yeah, pretty outstanding. And like you said, it was the last year and a half, because mid-season last year is when she started really exploding onto the scene, and now she's become ubiquitous. One of those people that it's seemingly every commercial she's on. It's pretty outstanding. And the excitement, as you mentioned, that has gone into that rivalry that they kind of built last year with LSU, and then that culminated with some more controversy, I guess, this year. And it is entertaining basketball. It's fun. She's good. I teased you that she's just the wannabe Luka, so you can watch the real Luka. But the way that she makes shots and those things like that, it's pretty incredible. And people are watching for maybe the first time ever.
Oh, well, and she's, we saw this 12.3 million people watch Monday night, and, huge ratings across not only just basketball, but beating, tons of other events, and so what she's done and helped bring. And then you got, what's crazy to me is you've got this 36-0 team of South Carolina, and
they're just unstoppable,
and they're just kind of hanging out and like letting them talk Caitlin, but our plan is we'll probably be 38-0 and have another ring.
Yeah.
And so, but we'll get into that. But again, and then the men's side of it, you've got, the funny thing is you got two teams that are reminding me of Nazareth, in that both men and women are going to the Final Four. As you have NC State. On the NC State side, everybody's shocked that they're there. They went in and went on a big 5-game winning streak to win their tournament, and then now are in the Final Four. And of course, then you've got UConn, who's there. Of course, UConn women are in as well. They get to play Iowa tonight. But on the boys' side, you've got, I didn't ever tweet it, but it's like Nick Saban retires and Alabama becomes a basketball school.
Right.
And so they do that. You got Alabama playing UConn tonight, who had plane trouble getting to Phoenix. And then you've got Purdue and NC State, which I'm looking forward to, Edie and Burns going at it inside. Because that's the other thing that I love about this Final Four thing, and again, our Lawrence Hall headline report, is that for the longest time, Josh, your guys your size no longer played inside. We didn't have big men anymore. And then all of a sudden we've got Klingon and we've got Edie and we've got Burns, and they're pounding it inside with post play again. And it's been a lot of fun to watch.
Yes. It's obviously my favorite type of basketball, because the football player that ends up on the basketball court, it just is near and dear to me. So I like watching real post moves, and really, 6'9" and 7-footers shooting threes, that's entertaining and all, but I like a good post move. And we talked about Burns before, but he has those classic, like, quick step turn, and he's big enough you don't want to get in his way. And, it's just.
He's got the size to be really good in the college game right now, but he's got the size and footwork that and it looks like he may, if he wants to, go get a tryout and maybe get invited to some NFL training camps. We've seen some guys, footwork, and you're gonna know him, you're gonna remember the guy off the bat, but like we've seen that happen. But like the guy from Baylor, that was
Rico Gathers,
that was a basketball player that went and played football. Now he didn't have a great career and all that in football.
It didn't work out. But that's the Tony Gonzalez, Antonio Gates. Those guys were basketball players that went to play tight end, and obviously Hall of Famers. Everyone's wanting to follow in that maybe we can find the next guy that falls into that category. But yeah, that his first step, like off the block, is incredibly quick.
Oh, and it's coming. It's like, okay, he's about to spin on me. I don't know if I can stop it, and then it's happened, and I couldn't.
Right.
And so, but I'll never forget, and continue with our Lawrence Hall headline report, as we got March Madness, all this coming up. But you've got, I'll never forget, Coach Johnny Hudson was coaching at Canadian, and they had a kid named Chappell, and he was a big guy. And he was being recruited as an offensive lineman all across the country. And Missouri comes in, and one of the things they recognize is how basketball helped his footwork and was a so much better lineman, and it was because of the footwork of basketball. So great. We got a lot of March Madness to look forward to, and we'll talk more about it when Misty gets in. But it is set. UConn, Alabama tonight or tomorrow, and then NC State and Purdue. And then on the women's side, they start tonight. South Carolina and NC State, and then UConn and Iowa, and we'll see if Caitlin Clark can add another night and win one more game and get a chance to probably most likely play against South Carolina for a national championship. A couple other things. Again, it's WrestleMania week. We'll talk about it. I've got us a fun little my own question. We'll put that out on you if you've got it on our Facebook page or on Twitter at the Hodge Pack, or our Facebook page, or you can put it if you're watching. 6-man tag, Josh. You've got to think, who are you bringing to the ring? You and 2 others. Missy's got her and 2 others, me and 2 others. Could be anybody, could be celebrities, all that. But WrestleMania is kind of it's their Super Bowl. I mean, they've got a lot of pay-per-views out throughout the year, but their Super Bowl for sure is WrestleMania, and it will be this weekend in Philadelphia. The Rock is back wrestling for this weekend. He's been part of the storyline, if you will, over the last few weeks. And I don't watch a lot of wrestling anymore, but I will watch the beginning of Raw and try to watch the end of it, because that's always where the meat and the great parts of the things that happen.
Where all the out of the ring action.
Yes, and so
your soap opera.
Oh yeah, it's ironically it's very similar back when my mom and when I used to watch Days of Our Lives back in the day. You could take time off and it would be back exactly where it was. That's kind of the way wrestling is, and Stefano DiMera will still be dead and come back alive and all those things. But yes, that's right. I knew that. A couple other things in the world. Valero Texas Open happening this weekend down in San Antonio. Bayacha, I'm pretty sure I butchered that name, is at 9 under, lower, and Brendan Todd at 6 under. A lot of guys that are going to be going to Augusta next week are playing. Rory's down there. Of course, Jordan is playing. Scotty taking the week off. But that is happening down in San Antonio. And, of course, next weekend is the Masters. You know, one of the things I forgot, Josh, is March Madness and all that, is Jim Nance is no longer calling March Madness. He's not on the sideline calling the games. He was watching Houston and being caught just as a fan. And so his Final Four to Augusta is just straight to Augusta now. But anyway, it's a lot of fun. March Madness rolling into the Masters, and of course, Major League Baseball. And when we come back, Major League Baseball, we'll dive right in. The Texas Rangers have a banner. Hopefully they got it adjusted. They've got rings.
They fixed it.
We think. And they've got a big weekend this weekend as the Astros come to town to probably be a little ticked off that they still don't have that World Series from last year and that their logo is inside the ring. When we come back, we will have more Hodge Pack, our first Bank and Trust Texas Rangers report, and we'll run around the major leagues right after this.
Miller Lite is the light beer brewed for people who love the taste of beer. For those who are always the first to volunteer for beer runs, who hit up tailgates for sports that they don't even like, and believe having a beer fridge in the garage is non-negotiable. It's a 96-calorie, 3.2 carb love letter to beer lovers who know that the best part of beer is the beer part. Tastes like Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. 2023 Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin beer.
When it comes to finding the right vehicle for you, there's no better place than Lawrence Hall in Abilene. For over 34 years, Lawrence Hall in Abilene has been the place to find the best from Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC. That is still true today. Great products and great service, too. So the next time you need a new car, truck, or SUV, come see us or shop 24/7 at LawrenceHallAbileneOnline.com. Voted Abilene's best new car dealer for over 28 years by you, our customers.
Have you enjoyed the Potosi Live experience yet? If not, you're missing one of the best atmospheres around. With amazing food, great drinks, live music, TVs to watch your favorite sporting events. The Potosi Live team will make sure you have an experience that you're going to tell your friends about. Check out PotosiLive.com or go like them at Potosi Live on Facebook for their upcoming live music and ticket events. Head out to Potosi at 897 FM 1750 for the Potosi Live experience.
Hello, Abilene and the Big Country. My name is John Keaty. I am a resident at Disability Resources Incorporated. I'm here to tell you about our document destruction and paper shredding business. Our services include routine pickups, purges, or we accept drop-offs at our state-of-the-art, safe, and secure facility. We are the DRI Shredders, and we are here to assist and serve you in the destruction of your most private documents or any of those annoying boxes that have stacked up over the years. Give us a call at 325-232-6918. Come on out and see us at 3602 North Clack Street. You'll be glad you did.
Your laptop, TV, mobile phone, or devices. You might say your Touchstone Energy Cooperative is in the business of keeping you connected to everyone and everything that's essential. Day or night, we're always here, making life easier. Because when all is said and done, of all the connections we make, none are more powerful than the human connection.
You are the most important part of Big Country Electric Cooperative. Call, stop by our offices in Roby, Snyder, and Stamford, or visit online at bigcountry.coop.
Hi, I'm Sharon Riley. Here in Abilene, folks have lots of options for eating out, from large chains to locally owned mom and pops like us. I want you to know we really appreciate your business and are always striving for wonderful food, service, and prices. So we listened to you and have updated our menu, bringing back old favorites like nachos and fajitas and adding more small plates for the light appetites. So come see us. I want to hear you say, yum, yum.
Tammy, are you crying? There's no crying. There's no crying in mortgages. Buying a home should not make you cry. You deserve a team of mortgage experts who have your best interest at heart. Visit ColemanBank.com and let us help you make your next move. If you are looking for a mortgage team in a league of their own, Coleman County State Bank is the place for you.
Equal housing lender. Member FDIC. The time has changed and it's time to hit the range at Mulligan Sports Bar, Grill, and Golf. Come relax on the patio, hit golf balls on the driving range, play 18 holes, and go enjoy a delicious meal, cold drinks with friends. Head to 1166 Ben Ritchie Drive, Mulligan Sports Bar, Grill, and Golf. You'll be glad you did.
Ball 1, ball 2, ball 3, ball 4. Bases loaded. The Hodge Pack. Always clearing the bases. Right here on 106.9, The Country Giant.
We are clearing the bases. It is baseball time in Texas and across the world as baseball is rolling. Major League Baseball kicked everything off. Technically, first pitch and all that happened in Korea, but last Thursday was opening day, March 28th, and now we've got a full week under our belt, and it's time for our first Bank and Trust Texas Rangers report. Josh, the Rangers kind of picked up a little bit where they left off, and they're up and rolling 4-2 as the early season, and have kind of been a beneficial I guess you would say a very beneficial schedule, if you will. Got to play at home they went out and played a little bit out in Tampa, and now are back this weekend for the Astros. But the rings are out. Josh, your thoughts on the ring? Let's talk about that just a little bit. The rings, it's
something.
You're not putting that in the Cracker Jack box, I can assure you.
Very, very flashy. And, obviously those things have gotten a wee bit out of hand, but you just got to keep rolling with it. And I mean, they're not for wearing except for to flaunt it in, certain situations, obviously. But having all that fanfare, the comeback from the winning the World Series, this being the first time that Rangers fans have gotten to experience that, and all that goes with it, with the gold logo, which I proudly, it's my new prized possession. I ordered it for opening day.
I was when we were at your house for opening day, and they were wearing. I was like, man, they do the colleges throughout the year. I was like, man, I'm really glad they brought the Trent Gorillas out tonight for the gold tee.
And that that's one of those things. It's like I said, I did get online when they became available and got the the official gold logo hat, because yes, it's too expensive and everything is, but you don't. This is the first opportunity I've had to make such a stupid purchase.
Well, but see, I don't think when you do that, when your team wins, and again, I caught a little bit of it at a place when I was watching one of the Tampa Bay games. And they've started doing the Chick-fil-A almost like on the couch, telling their memories of winning it. Mm-hmm. And so I think it's one of those you do embrace it. And again, I can't emphasize enough, one of the shows I listen to, you can download the podcast, is Unsportsmanlike. And they were talking about how Michelle Smallman was like, everybody's talking about, well, the Yankees need to win. The Orioles are going to be good again. And it's almost like they're treating the Texas Rangers very similar to what they did the Kansas City Chiefs last year. It was all about Lamar Jackson and the Ravens, Josh Allen, and all that. And it's like they forgot about the Chiefs, and then they win. There hadn't been a whole lot of talk about the Rangers being the team, except for us talking about it. The Rangers being that team again to, hey, can they go repeat? We know how hard it is. It hadn't been done since back in the day, and the Yankees doing it. But I do think one of the things that we're seeing is that the Rangers are finding ways to win. Again, 4-2 early on, and starting to see the young players becoming becoming very effective early on in this beginning of the season.
It's yes, and obviously there's the damper of Josh Young being out for 2 months plus with being hit by a pitch, which it was a extreme bummer. It really made me sad, because I'm a fan of his. Being not just a Texas Ranger, but a guy from Texas, Tech, and all of the things that go with it, and he's had a hard time staying on the field, and it made me feel sad for him that he was the hottest player on the team. Really looked like he had taken that step, and I don't know if y'all have seen any of those, like the Rangers have these, I guess, behind the scenes YouTube. It's almost like
it's almost like a Last Dance, but behind the scenes.
Yes,
I think they're calling it Full Access.
Yes, Rangers Full Access. That I would suggest watching that. The episodes are like 8 to 15 minutes, and but in spring training, you could see that Josh Young had stepped up, and only in his second year, but he's already kind of one of those leaders on the team that you could see that leadership coming through, and so that makes me sad, not just from the production on the field standpoint, but for him not to be there. And I know that getting injured and not being able to play was something, especially if just getting hit by the pitch in the wrong place, you feel for him not being there, and that hampers the team, obviously. But as you mentioned, 4-2, win 2 straight series. If you win all your series, you're going to have a really good record at the end of the year. So we'll hopefully keep that going, and get the Astros in town right off the bat here for a 4-game.
Who are kind of struggling a little bit. They got the no-hitter. Their first win was a no-hitter.
Right.
They were 0 for the Yankees. Started off really well, swept them, and the Astros getting the no-hitter was their first win of the year.
And apparently the Blue Jays just can't hit. So I guess that helps when you want to throw a no-hitter, as they also got shut out later in that series for the Astros 2 wins. All the talk was the Astros are still the best team in the division, and the one of the best teams in the American League. As you mentioned, the media seemed to go immediately to Yankees, Orioles, and Astros, and it was when you looked at all the list of predictions and everything, the Rangers were strangely not included in those. But that really, I think, is fine. I mean, you can use that as a fan to have that little bit of fire that you want them to prove them wrong, and obviously as the players, I think will earn that respect on the field, because they have good young players, and Evan Carter's going to get a hit at some point.
He has to. So what's your thoughts on, again, 4-2? A lot of guys still on the shelf as far as the starting pitching goes. How content are you with where the pitching is right now on waiting on DeGrom and Scherzer down the road? Where do you feel like pitching is right now?
Well, right now, Nathan Eovaldi is not. He's not looking to be the number 2 to anybody when they come back. He's pitching like a true ace, to where that. We obviously want DeGrom to come back and be DeGrom, but we're not lacking that big game pitcher, as he showed in the playoffs last year. He picked up right where he left off from Game 5 in the World Series, and has had 2 excellent starts. It really boils down to kind of exactly how it was last year. The bullpen has been shaky. Leclerc does not look like he has the capability to be the closer, as his ERA starts with a 2, but it's also a 2-digit number. Has I think a 20-point-something ERA. So that's not going to work on the back end of the bullpen. But Dane Dunning has done exactly what he did last year in his first go round. And then John Gray got roughed up a little bit, but I expect him to settle down and be okay. So I really think the pitching is not as weak as through the rotation as maybe some predicted, and will just get better as people come back. So I'm really excited about it. Obviously, I'm always a homer, but I think the the future is definitely bright. The best days are not behind us, even though we did win a World Series. There's still opportunities for more, and we get to sit and watch it. Wyatt Langford has come up and not looked like he's been overmatched. He hasn't just mashed the ball, but he's gotten hits and made some plays on defense, which was one of the big questions with him. So all signs are good, and we do have reinforcements coming, like you said, of pitching, but we also have, Nate Lowe is still on the mend from his oblique injury. And, now obviously we talked about Josh Young. So the team will just get better as the year goes along. So,
and let's kind of go through a little bit. We got a few more minutes left in our first Bank and Trust Texas Ranger MLB report. The Yankees, again, part of that is maybe who they're playing, but the Yankees off to a hot start at 6-1. The Dodgers 7-2 starting. I still don't think they're going to win a World Series. That's fine. I don't think the super teams do well. Really not a whole lot of surprises, except maybe the Pittsburgh Pirates at 6-1.
Well, the Pirates have a good young core of exciting players, and they have not spent, like maybe they could and should, and the Orioles are kind of in that same boat. And the Pirates are a bit behind the Orioles as far as timetable, but I'm not surprised that they're off to a hot start. They're off to a hot start last year, and O'Neal Cruz is back after having his broken leg from the year before, where he missed the majority of the season. So they're going to be a pretty decent team. And they're in a very, very poor division, So if they can hang out with, and the Reds are kind of very similar, young, exciting players, and so I'm not surprised that they're 6-1 necessarily. I don't think that's obviously that's not sustainable to anybody, but I don't think they're going to end in the top of the league. But I think they could challenge for that division.
Well, and then you've got the Marlins, who are still looking for win number one. That is a rough outing between them and the Athletics, who are the dumpster fire of all pro sports maybe right now. But the Marlins, they made this big deal. They let the lady go that was kind of ramrodding everything. And I'm sure she's loving the 0-8.
It's got to be the sweet revenge. But the thing with them,
opposite of Major League, where the woman owner was a problem, this lady was very beneficial, and now they're 0-8, and I'm sure she's loving it.
They are notoriously cheap, and the kind of, even to the point of being a joke. They win the World Series and sell everything that's not nailed down. And so that's kind of their history. But they were built on pitching, young starting pitching that was. They have several just future stars in that rotation, but now they've got several of them out. Alcantara's out. Perez, the 20-year-old that just came bursting onto the scene last year. Now he's having Tommy John, and so they didn't do anything to help their team in the offseason. Just wanted to roll with the just I guess having great pitching, and that's it. Then their pitching's hurt, and it's just not working, and it's laughably bad, honestly.
Right. So the Marlins are 0-for, but we are not 0-for. We are rocking and rolling. That's segment number 2, the first Bank and Trust Texas Rangers report. Rangers 4-2, and the Astros come to town. Be exciting. Be sure to get somewhere. Go out to Mulligan's. Go out to somewhere where you can watch Potosi Live or Loud Old Landy Cattle.
Apple TV today, which is also a bummer.
Oh, there you go. Well, actually, I have that, so I'll have a chance to watch that.
Maybe I'm coming to your house. Thanks.
There we go. When we come back, we will have one of our favorites, a voice you hear often. We'll be back right after this, talking some cattle, maybe some bull, and everything in between. We'll be back right after this.
When it comes to finding the right vehicle for you, there's no better place than Lawrence Hall in Abilene. For over 34 years, Lawrence Hall in Abilene has been the place to find the best from Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC. That is still true today. Great products and great service, too. So the next time you need a new car, truck, or SUV, come see us or shop 24/7 at LawrenceHallAbileneOnline.com. Voted Abilene's best new car dealer for over 28 years by you, our customers.
That to-do list you have needs one more thing. Chill. It's an easy thing to do. Just crack open an ice-cold Coors Light and chill. Take the afternoon off and binge watch anything. Go to happy hour and stay for a couple hours. Who's counting anyways? Or hang out with just your dog because you've had enough human interaction this week. Whatever you do it with a Coors Light. Mountain Cold Refreshment made to chill. 2020 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
Have you enjoyed the Potosi Live experience yet? If not, you're missing one of the best atmospheres around. With amazing food, great drinks, live music, TVs to watch your favorite sporting events. The Potosi Live team will make sure you have an experience that you're going to tell your friends about. Check out PotosiLive.com or go like them at Potosi Live on Facebook for their upcoming live music and ticket events. Head out to Potosi at 897 FM 1750 for the Potosi Live experience.
Hello, Abilene and the Big Country. My name is John Keaty. I am a resident at Disability Resources Incorporated. I'm here to tell you about our document destruction and paper shredding business. Our services include routine pickups, purges, or we accept drop-offs at our state-of-the-art, safe, and secure facility. We are the DRI Shredders, and we are here to assist and serve you in the destruction of your most private documents or any of those annoying boxes that have stacked up over the years. Give us a call at 325-232-6918. Come on out and see us at 3602 North Clack Street. You'll be glad you did.
What is it that makes you powerful? It's not only having a voice, but knowing that it's heard loud and clear. We understand knowledge can change your life and that energy will continue to power it. And because you're part of a Touchstone Energy Cooperative, we're always listening. Because you're more than just a customer, you're a member. And what's more powerful than that?
You are the most important part of Big Country Electric Cooperative. Call, stop by our offices in Roby, Cider, and Stamford, or visit online at bigcountry.coop.
Hi, I'm Sharon Riley. Here in Abilene, folks have lots of options for eating out, from large chains to locally owned mom and pops like us. I want you to know we really appreciate your business and are always striving for wonderful food, service, and prices. So we listen to you and have updated our menu, bringing back old favorites like nachos and fajitas and adding more small plates for the light appetites. So come see us. I want to hear you say, yum, yum.
Tammy, are you crying? There's no crying. There's no crying in mortgages. Buying a home should not make you cry. You deserve a team of mortgage experts who have your best interest at heart. Visit ColemanBank.com and let us help you make your next move. If you are looking for a mortgage team in a league of their own, Coleman County State Bank is the place for you.
Equal housing lender. Member FDIC. The time has changed and it's time to hit the range at Mulligan Sports Bar, Grill, and Golf. Come relax on the patio, hit golf balls on the driving range, play 18 holes, and go enjoy a delicious meal, cold drinks with friends. Head to 1166 Ben Ritchie Drive, Mulligan Sports Bar, Grill, and Golf. You'll be glad you did.
This is my town. Yeah, this is my town.
Welcome back to the Hodge Pack, sports, life, and everything in between. When you hear that, you know it's time for our Big Country Electric My Town segment. We highlight a local player coach program, and today we're highlighting one of our favorite places on the planet, DRI, and they've got some big, exciting things happening. Of course, one of the voices you hear and one of our favorites, from our pickers to just downright just one of the best guys on the planet, John Keaty. John, how you doing this morning?
Doing well, sir. Thanks for having me.
Now, you know, we are going to talk about the cattle auction, which is coming up Tuesday, April 9th. We're going to talk about that, but we cannot not have you here and not talk some football.
Oh, absolutely.
I figured you wouldn't mind doing that.
Football, a little March Madness, whatever you got in mind, I'm ready for it.
All right, so we'll start with March Madness. Have you been watching it? Did you fill out a bracket? What's your situation?
Well, I was one of the few that did not fill out a bracket this year, but I've been, like everybody else, been following.
Well, John, you're probably better off on not filling out a bracket, because I did fill out a bracket, and it's a good thing I can talk about sports because I can't pick sports. Didn't do very well on that. So what about Caitlin Clark? She's kind of taken over the country as kind of the face of really both tournaments. I mean, the face of basketball, the face of March Madness. What's your thoughts on what Caitlin Clark is doing?
Well, first of all, being from Iowa, a loyal Hawkeye fan, very proud of her. She represents Iowa very well.
Anxious to see how she plays tonight. You know, of course,
big game against UConn.
Right.
I personally think the winner of that game is going to win the national championship.
You think they'll upset South Carolina?
I really think.
Oh, wow. There you go. You heard that right here. John saying,
I think so.
South Carolina will end with a loss and not go undefeated.
But this South Carolina team is very, very good.
Yeah, no doubt. 36-0. But we'll see if Caitlin Clark has enough in the tank to not only get past, and that's the thing, Dawn Staley and the South Carolina women, you know, nothing against NC State, but their semifinal game is a lot, not as difficult, I wouldn't think, with UConn and Iowa and what they've got to do.
No, but I do think the winner of that game will win the championship.
You heard that. You heard that right here on the Hodge Pack. John Keaty saying the winner of UConn and Iowa will be crowned the women's national champion.
But of course, remember my picks from the bowl games. That
hey,
you have to
I
take
understand.
that with a grain of salt.
Yeah. We're not telling you to rush and make any big dollar bets on that one. Now let's talk football. Big trade this week. You know, the Dallas Cowboys, which I know you're a huge not fan of, which is okay. We still love you, John. I know you're not a big Cowboys fan. We thought the Cowboys were going to do a lot. Jerry Jones said he was all in and was going to do all these things with bringing in players and signing Dak, and we still haven't done any of it. But the team down south, Houston, has made moves. They signed Joe Mixon, and then this week they traded for Stephon Diggs. He's now going to be in the same state as his brother. So C.J. Stroud and the Texans have loaded up. And what's your thoughts on this Diggs trade?
Well, I was very not being a fan of really either team. I was very happy for the Texans. I was a little surprised what the Cowboys did.
Or didn't do?
Yeah, yep. Really, they didn't do anything. By letting really Pollard go, who are they going to have run the ball?
Right. We've got to figure that out. Let me ask you this. Do you think the Texans, with the moves they've made, are they the biggest threat to the Chiefs in the AFC or somebody else?
I still think it's the Ravens.
Okay, still think it's the Ravens.
But the Texans are right there.
Yeah, I think so too. Of course, the Ravens adding Derrick Henry, King Henry heading to Baltimore, but Stephon Diggs, and of course we were talking about it in the breaks, in that what who's Josh Allen going to throw to? Annie Hagar, if you don't follow her on Twitter, follow her on Twitter. Annie's hilarious. She's been on the show. She had a picture of this guy, and it says, "This is Josh Allen this season. He throws the football, and he takes off running to catch it himself because he don't know who he's going to be throwing to." But we got the draft coming up. Of course, Josh was complimenting on your Bears jersey, big Bears fan. We've got to ask that question. I'm glad that came to me. Thank you, Lord. Do you think the Bears, no question, you got to draft Caleb Williams?
You know what? I can't speak for the Bears, so I have no idea what's in store. I have no idea what's on their mind.
It's got to be quarterback, though. It's either Caleb Williams or Jaden Daniels, I would think.
I would love to see Jaden Daniels as a Chicago Bear.
Yeah.
I would have no problem with Caleb Williams. Then again, they may trade. Who knows what they're going to do with it?
Yeah, it'll be interesting. And so let's talk DRI, which is, again, one of my favorite places. How are things going with the Shredders? We'll talk some Shredder stuff, and then we'll get to the cows.
Oh, I'm telling you, there's constantly work there. People are doing a lot of shredding, and it's always a good thing being there.
Yeah, so be sure you give them a call. All right, we got the number off our head. Do you know the number off the top of your head there, John?
325-677-6815.
So give them a call if you need the DRI shredders to do some shredding. Maybe you've got your taxes done, need stuff you need to get rid of, whatever you need to shred. Give John and the folks at DRI a call, and they'll be glad to start. I don't know if that's really what the sound makes, but that's what they'll be glad to start shredding. All right, so now let's talk about big day coming up Tuesday.
Tuesday, April 9th.
Not only is it the second practice round for the Masters, but more importantly, we've got the cattle auction for DRI happening April 9th. So talk a little bit about what's going on that day, April 9th at the Abilene Livestock Auction.
Well, not only is there going to be things donated, such as a dewormer and cattle bake items going to be bid on. You can have a complimentary lunch there.
Yeah, shout out to Jim. Jim
Goldston.
Yeah, First Financial be cooking. They always do a good job flipping some burgers.
All the proceeds from the auction will benefit the folks at DRI.
Yeah, so a lot of people will be there. I'm going to be there. I'm excited. Tiffany's been kind of ramrodding a lot of this with Christine, and so it's a big day. Now, will the folks be out? Will we have some folks out there?
Yeah, folks will be there. I'm hoping to be there. I've never missed one since I've been out at DRI, so it's going to be exciting.
So this is one of those fundraisers that I'm looking forward to it because now I'm not a now Josh has a lot of land and he probably has some cows out there. My backyard's big enough. We could probably some cows, but so what do you like about this event? Some people have golf tournaments, some people have clay shoots. Of course, the big dove hunt is in September for DRI. So what do you like about this fundraiser in the cattle?
You know what? I'll be honest with you. I was hoping the folks can maybe bid on some of the baked goods because if you've seen them, they're pretty good.
All right. So what is your go-to baked good? What is your favorite?
Oh, my goodness. I'd have to say probably either the brownies or the cookies.
All right, there you go. So you're hearing it right here from John. Not only he may not be good at picking bowls like me, but he loves food and he loves good baked goods. You got some great baked goods that you can bid on. Of course, if you need a cow, come buy a cow, right?
Absolutely.
If you need a cow, maybe you need to bake.
And the cattle's not bad either.
Yeah, in the
Car dealer for over 28 years. By you, our customers.
Have you enjoyed the Potosi Live experience yet? If not, you're missing one of the best atmospheres around. With amazing food, great drinks, live music, TVs to watch your favorite sporting events. The Potosi Live team will make sure you have an experience that you're going to tell your friends about. Check out PotosiLive.com or go like them at Potosi Live on Facebook for their upcoming live music and ticket events. Head out to Potosi at 897 FM 1750 for the Potosi Live experience.
Hello, Abilene and the Big Country. My name is John Keaty. I am a resident at Disability Resources Incorporated. I'm here to tell you about our document destruction and paper shredding business. Our services include routine pickups, purges, or we accept drop-offs at our state-of-the-art, safe, and secure facility. We are the DRI Shredders, and we are here to assist and serve you in the destruction of your most private documents or any of those annoying boxes that have stacked up over the years. Give us a call at 325-232-6918. Come on out and see us at 3602 North Clack Street. You'll be glad you did.
From eco-friendly thermostats to energy-efficient lighting systems for your business, technology is making everything smarter. Good thing your Touchstone Energy Cooperative can help you make smarter work harder. Today, there are more ways than ever to make your world more energy efficient, and we can show you how. Take the next step to go electric and put the power of your co-op to work for you.
You are the most important part of Big Country Electric Cooperative. Call, stop by our offices in Roby, Cider, and Stamford, or visit online at bigcountry.coop.
Hi, I'm Sharon Riley. Here in Abilene, folks have lots of options for eating out, from large chains to locally owned mom and pops like us. I want you to know we really appreciate your business and are always striving for wonderful food, service, and prices. So we listen to you and have updated our menu, bringing back old favorites like nachos and fajitas and adding more small plates for the light appetites. So come see us. I want to hear you say, yum, yum.
At First Bank and Trust, our story started in 1996 and it continues because of you, our customers, our communities, and our neighbors. We are proud to be a small part of your success. But where does your story start? Where do you want to go? Whether starting a business, saving for the future, or launching your ideas to the next level, we want to help you take your first steps towards something big. Call or email one of our bankers today. At First Bank and Trust, we see potential, ideas, innovation, growth everywhere.
Member FDIC and Equal Housing Lender.
Welcome back to the Hodge Pack. We're glad that you're with us. Appreciate John coming in and talking about the DRI cattle auction that's happening Tuesday. Josh, I was telling them, I know you all were in the green room, but
I was listening.
Yes.
You probably know.
I was listening.
Well, John brings out and a lot of people. But the cattle auction, you probably would have known a lot more about what to ask for on the cattle.
I've been to a few.
Yeah.
I'm no expert, but
well, maybe you can go buy you some. You got some land. Maybe you buy a cow and bring it on out.
Well, that needs to happen. I need to fix fence, which apparently costs more money than I have.
So you could start the new song, "Who Let the Cows Out?" Boo, boo.
Yes,
I say moo, moo.
We have had cows.
You're welcome.
We have had cows.
We just went Weird Al Yankovic
on our place, but it was you couldn't keep them there. So that's the way it is. But someday I'll get it fixed. There's a lot of things on the list.
Well, there you go. Well, you're in luck. You can go bid on baked goods tomorrow or
Baked
Tuesday.
goods, I definitely have some expertise in also.
Yeah. Well, anyway. So Misty, how are we doing this morning?
I'm good.
It's good. Misty rocking and rolling. And we have to say it. Go ahead and say it, Josh. See if you know what you're supposed to say.
I don't know what I'm supposed to say.
She's not wearing pants.
I am not wearing pants.
She is not. You're right.
I don't wear pants a lot on the show, actually.
That is true. And we're getting into the great weather yesterday.
My season of not wearing pants.
Yesterday was immaculate weather. Thank you, Lord. It was a great day of weather yesterday. It was really
beautiful.
Nice.
Yes, it was. It was very, very nice outside, but I was reminded by something that really it's one of the first times that this has happened this year, maybe the second, I can't really recall, but where I got in my pickup and it was like 175 degrees.
Yeah, it was warm.
Like, I need to park in the shade and roll the windows down a bit, which, it's a good thing, but at the same time, it was that initial shock of it where in about a month, it's just par for the course and you're not caught off guard by that.
Yeah, it was good stuff. It does crack me up. Like, there's no way it's 195 in my car.
My car said 107, and I was like, "Yeah, it's not. I mean, it is black, but I'm like,
well,
no.
yeah, just when you initially fired up, yeah,
I was like, oh,
mine said 99, so it was not. But
it's like saying, that's not true. Like on a 40 time. You forgot to start my clock. I did not run a 4.4. But
I'll take it.
Yeah, don't put it in there because then you'll expect that every time. But speaking of fast, it has nothing to do with fast, but it is time for. It absolutely has nothing to do with
fast women. Yeah. Is that what you're speaking of?
Never mind. We're gonna go ahead and open up this bag.
Coming up next.
In the world is in that bag. What you got in that bag?
I'm like, I don't even know fast women. Like,
Well,
but
what's funny is
trashy women.
That's exactly what I was about to say. Feel free, if you've not seen that or if you've not heard that podcast, go download, subscribe, and review. It's literally titled, "Did You Call Me Trashy?"
Yeah, it's fine. And I think I said, and I've been called worse, so it's fine. So, okay, I don't know. I'm happy about this question. We'll see if y'all are.
Wait, say that again.
I'm happy about this question because I was at Mulligan's last night. Speaking of the sponsor for this segment, Josh was also at Mulligan's for a brief moment.
And you ignored me when I waved at you.
I did not see him. I swear.
Collins came to talk to us.
Yeah.
This fine lady,
this fine trashy lady, fast trashy lady,
and Clay just walked out of the room.
We did. I did not even see Josh.
Wow, because he is hard to spot because he's really short.
He's very small. But yeah, so we were there last night celebrating a friend's birthday, and so great weather, great venue, all the things. So we absolutely love Mulligan's. But I had this question with the group of people that I were with, and oh my gosh, got some really funny answers. So let's just say you're going to be God's sidekick, okay? And you can change one thing about the human body. So for men, y'all change it for the men, and I will say what I would like to change for the women. And so I want y'all to get creative here.
Okay, so clarification on the question.
I know it's weird, but that's what I'm here for.
We're talking about like all anatomy or like some specific
we're going way back, and it's like
so. No, I'm saying like I'm going to give it this as an example. Tell me if I'm anywhere near this. I feel like I'm looking for the answer on a Scantron, and it's not there. Like 12 fingers instead of 10.
Yeah, or like something that you feel would make the male species better, or take it away. Give it to yourself, or take it away.
Well, for a person that, and I don't know if this is, I'm going to go with it.
Please do.
I think it'd be nice, and I think this is going to, Josh may echo this. I don't know where he feels on it. I know my dad's going to probably feel with this same way. I wish your hair didn't fall out.
Like, yes. Yeah, that's a good one.
I mean, we all know what's going on up here.
Yes.
Like, I don't know what's going on. Right there.
Yeah, actually, Frank is Franken, and we really don't know what's going on.
I think that would.
It's time for the
now, my question for you after Josh and you go, are any of the answers that y'all shared at Mulligan's reshareable on air?
Yes, yeah, I can share a few.
Okay.
I mean, y'all can read between the lines on some, but you know.
Okay. Well, the ones that we don't want to read lines on, we're going to save those for the commercials. But I think if you could keep your hair, I think that would be interesting. Or what if you could have like everybody be fast? Like
everybody has a special skill,
athletic ability.
Yeah. Like the Bible tells us we all have gifts. We're all blessed with gifts. Every single one of us have gifts that God wants us to use. But like if everybody had like, and the speed was still fluctuating, like we wouldn't all be able to run 100 miles an hour. But if you could speed, I think the other one is I would be okay if I could fly.
So you'd give a superpower.
I could fly.
Yeah, so I'm going to go, hair doesn't fall out.
Okay.
Like you get to just, and I'm not saying I need locks like Jesus, but just.
Right.
I don't need Larry up there hanging out.
No, it's Frank.
Oh, Frank, my bad. Sorry, you got renamed.
We named him Frank.
It is biblical. It is biblical. You went from Paul to Saul. You went from Larry to Frank. I'm going to go hair.
Okay, hair on top. And
Hair doesn't go away. You could run really, really fast, or I could fly.
Hair on the top of your head doesn't go away.
Yeah,
we're being specific because you have like arm hair and like.
Yeah, no, I don't want to be like the cat. I don't want to be the cat or the dog off of Austin Powers. No.
Okay, so hair on your head stays. Okay,
Josh, what do you got?
All right, well, I've got.
I gave you a long time to figure it out.
Well, you did, and I'm now more confused than less because superpowers I didn't know was part of the equation, so I had to rethink the whole thing.
It's really. I mean, my anatomy part of being really fast would be my feet.
See, for me, I'm going more like the hair, like. Okay. But whatever. Just give a few answers. It doesn't matter.
All right. Well, I would probably go with some sort of like sixth sense, and that would be the sense to interpret female doublespeak.
Wait, what? What does that mean?
It means the. What do you want for dinner tonight? Oh, I'm not sure. What do you want? I don't care. Well, how about we do this? Well, no, I don't think that. Well, maybe we should that. Like.
So less talking from women.
No. Just interpreting when that is.
There was a movie called What Women Want.
Like I said, yes, exactly. That the Mel Gibson movie, What Women Want.
Yes.
That ability.
We don't know what we want.
I don't know that you want it to that extent. And then the other would be like if you had eyes in the back of your head, then
now that's a good one.
Then you could actually see
But would you want that?
I don't think so. I think it'd be very confusing.
Man, y'all would look so weird, and you're not attractive with eyes in the back of your head.
Well,
y'all would never get a
her pause was not very good either. You're not attractive. With eyes in the back of your head.
Obviously, that's why we're on the radio. Yeah. But I don't know. That's
good. Eyes in the back of your head.
Weird and then maybe you could just do away with the appendix, so you won't have to worry about random appendectomies. But that's I hadn't had that, but maybe someday. I don't know. Hope not. Yeah. Sounds terrible.
I have so many thoughts on this question. Obviously, we debated it last night for about 30 minutes. I think one, as a woman, y'all can literally, I feel like, think about losing weight. And then it's like, I'm going to lose like 10 pounds in a week. It's no big deal. And our anatomy doesn't work like that as fast as y'all's does. So I would probably say, and all the women are going to love me for this, but like we can eat whatever we want and we're going to stay, like I'll stay this figure forever. I could probably drop a few lbs, but I'm just saying like, I wouldn't get any bigger. So I would be able to eat whatever I want. And then another one is I would remove hair from like eyes down. Like no hair anywhere on my body from like the eyes down. Because I want eyelashes, I want eyebrows, I want hair, but I don't want it anywhere else. Like I really thought about this a lot last night.
Ironically, I was
you want it up here, but I don't want it anywhere else.
I was at a lunch with Misty yesterday and happened to sit at the table with her and Tammy. And the rest of the CCB, a CCSB. Yeah, I forgot to S. Anyway, sound like us cattle bearers. And my coworker Clint and I overheard Misty needed to shave.
Yeah, I did. I've since shaved.
Yeah.
But there's not a woman alive that likes to shave. It's annoying, just like y'all, if you shave your face, nobody wants to shave every day. It's annoying. Right. So let's just get rid of the hair everywhere, please. From the eyes down.
There you go.
Like, I don't like any hair. I don't like body hair.
Josh just looked at his arm hair.
As I'm like giving you the stink eye. I'm just kidding. Chest hair.
When we come back, Josh will have zero hair on his arms.
I'm going to go sit in the other room now.
Shave that.
All right, so that's pretty good. That was definitely out there. I did write down female doublespeak to somehow make that part of the podcast title. And if you have it, download, subscribe, rate, and review our podcast, The Hodge Pack. You can get it on Apple or Spotify. But again, so...
I'm trying to think what else like, what if you never just had to go number 2? Somebody brought that up. I was like, I would actually love that.
But then what would I do to take a break? I need to go read some sports articles
for 30 minutes. Y'all are the worst. Maybe that's going to be what I would pick.
I can't just read that sitting and standing up.
For
somewhere.
y'all, I would say, y'all do not go number 2 anymore. If I was picking for the men,
I'm not going to lie.
Life changing.
We'll see.
It's gross.
We'll see if Coach Patterson.
It's gross, obviously.
Yeah. Well,
one girl said, "What if it?" This is funny. What if it came out of your toes instead of your backside? And I was like, "Oh my gosh, that's hilarious!"
All right. Well, that's a whole nother
commercial break. We're out.
That is a whole nother expression of mud between my toes. When we come back, we'll have Coach Keith Patterson, ACU head football coach, right after this.
KLGD Stanford Abilene 106.9 FM. We are the Country Giant.
Hello, Abilene and the Big Country. My name is John Keaty. I am a resident at Disability Resources Incorporated. I'm here to tell you about our document destruction and paper shredding business. Our services include routine pickups, purges, or we accept drop-offs at our state-of-the-art, safe, and secure facility. We are the DRI Shredders, and we are here to assist and serve you in the destruction of your most private documents or any of those annoying boxes that have stacked up over the years. Give us a call at 325-232-6918. Come on out and see us at 3602 North Clack Street. You'll be glad you did.
Favorite thing about my street?
It's quiet.
Safe. The people.
We rely on each other.
And we rely on our Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
The co-op isn't just about electricity.
It's about power.
The power of information, efficiency,
safety,
technology.
That's why whenever I have a question about energy,
I always call my Touchstone Energy Cooperative first.
Because in my community,
I am the co-op. And the co-op
is me.
You are the most important part of Big Country Electric Cooperative. Call, stop by our offices in Roby, Cider, and Stamford, or visit online at bigcountry.coop.
At First Bank and Trust, our story started in 1996 and it continues because of you, our customers, our communities, and our neighbors. We are proud to be a small part of your success. But where does your story start? Where do you want to go? Whether starting a business, saving for the future, or launching your ideas to the next level, we want to help you take your first steps towards something big. Call or email one of our bankers today. At First Bank and Trust, we see potential, ideas, innovation, growth everywhere.
Member FDIC and Equal Housing Lender.
That to-do list you have needs one more thing. Chill. It's an easy thing to do. Just crack open an ice-cold Coors Light and chill. Take the afternoon off and binge watch anything. Go to happy hour and stay for a couple hours. Who's counting anyways? Or hang out with just your dog, because you've had enough human interaction this week. Whatever you do it with a Coors Light. Mountain Cold Refreshment made to chill. 2020 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
Have you enjoyed the Potosi Live experience yet? If not, you're missing one of the best atmospheres around. With amazing food, great drinks, live music, TVs to watch your favorite sporting events. The Potosi Live team will make sure you have an experience that you're going to tell your friends about. Check out PotosiLive.com or go like them at Potosi Live on Facebook for their upcoming live music and ticket events. Head out to Potosi at 897 FM 1750 for the Potosi Live experience.
When it comes to finding the right vehicle for you, there's no better place than Lawrence Hall in Abilene. For over 34 years, Lawrence Hall in Abilene has been the place to find the best from Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC. And that is still true today. Great products and great service, too. So the next time you need a new car, truck, or SUV, come see us or shop 24/7 at LawrenceHallAbileneOnline.com. Voted Abilene
Weldon Hurt, and we've been protecting homes and businesses for 30 years right here in the Big Country. If you need service or just have questions, call or text at 325-673-6700.
The big bright yellow truck coming to your door. The Pest Control.
Welcome back to the Hodge Pack, sports, life, and everything in between as we kick off hour number 2 with brought to you by Coleman County State Bank, which our next guest sees Coleman County State Bank often because it's right across from the stadium. But we are kicking off hour number 2. Lots to cover. We've got March Madness, but right now I guess it's still a little March Madness for this guy with spring ball and everything going on. But joining us in our Potosi Live studio, the head football coach at Abilene Christian, getting ready for year number 3. KP, Coach Patterson, how are you doing this morning? It's good to, again, Coach, you've not been to this new studio. Last one was a little different. Oh, yeah, it is nice. It's we've enjoyed being in here. We haven't started it yet, but we're really working on trying to get mall walkers to come in and talk. We're going to have a mall walker of the week. Josh is a little scared about having mall walker talk, but I think it's going to boost ratings. But anyway, Coach, again, year 3, it's already kicking off. I don't think we talked with Coach Sweeney last week. Football never really stops. It just goes off the field and you get ready to get back on it.
For us, it began back in January. You wrap up recruiting, which never stops anymore. You're constantly recruiting your own roster. And so in January, we started an 8-week training, what we call winter conditioning. That leads right into 5 straight weeks of spring football, 15 practices. We got our spring game on April 20th at 3 o'clock. And then as soon as you're done, you go right back out to spring evaluations and start recruiting again. Then you get into summer. Where you're doing summer camps and evaluation. Well, anymore, the summers have even changed because now summer school is mandatory, and you can have meetings and you can actually have walkthroughs and stuff in the summer. It just never does stop. It's just then you go right into fall camp, right into the season.
Well, and one of the things. Anyway, well, technical, we're going to switch mics real quick. But so Misty probably broke into the anatomy question. That one working. There we go. We're rocking. So the thing is, we talked about it. We were talking earlier how things change and always keeps going. But one of the things that you've and I was telling Sam, there's a lot of excitement happening at ACU football, with everything that's going on and coaches and players and, real quick, what's your windshield right now of what college football is at ACU?
Well, it's just constantly changing, as we said, and there's been so much change so fast. And I think, when I look at the academic profile and the vision that we have with Phil Schubert at ACU and not for our university, for our athletics program, is so exciting because, man, I love to follow people who have a vision. And you're exactly right. It is an exciting time. Just in the last 2 years, I was telling Sam on the way over here, we've lost 5 games by 1 point, 3 points, 3 points, 3.7 points, or in 2 years, we're 17-5 with losses to Missouri, Texas A&M, North Texas. So there is an excitement about ACU football. I think we're recruiting at a high level. We're bringing in young men through the portal that have gone on to Texas Tech, wherever, and want to come home, and they just want to play the game of football. So it's been good for us. And then we've done an excellent job of recruiting high school talent here in Texas. So there is an excitement, the vision, where we go from here. I don't think anyone knows, the conference, you may be in this conference this year, and then next year it could completely change. So I'm not real sure where the future is, but we're just taking what can we control right now, and we're just trying to create and generate excitement within the community.
Well, and let's talk a little bit about, we see people in the Power 5 become free agency with the portal. Talk about how the portal's actually been beneficial for Abilene Christian.
Well, I think right now we're really not in the NIL game in football at the FCS level. I call ourselves the NIL rehab. All these young men who have been promised NIL dollars at big universities, FBS schools, and they've gone on, and for whatever reason, they realize that, look, I just want to play the game of football. So that's kind of what we look for as a program. And we have to have a tie to these young men. Either someone coached them or we know someone that has a tie to the young man before we bring them back. And I think we've done that. We've stuck to that plan. So it's allowed us to improve our talent level in FCS football.
Well, and I think that's the deal. And you don't blame a kid going to go try that out. But when they realize it's not all it's cracked up to be, and that pond is really, really big, and you're like, man, I just want to play football. But then the excitement of being able to come back to Abilene and play Division I football, and y'all had some fun schedules where you go play A&M, and your kids last year are going to remember I played at Kyle Field.
That's right. That's exactly right. And we were up 7-0. I mean, Kirby Cohealy, intercepted that ball right there the first couple of series of the game and takes it to the house. And you look up there and you see the scoreboard: Abilene Christian University 7, Texas A&M nothing. I mean, it's kind of humbling a little bit, but no, we're excited to where we're headed.
Well, and let's talk about, some you talked about the coming in and making you better. Talk about your coaching staff. I mean, you look at your coaching staff and there's some names / with schools background very similar to the kids you're recruiting in the portal on your coaching staff. Talk a little bit about that.
No doubt. And I think it all boils down to relationships. And I didn't have a plan of being a head coach when I first got here. I really didn't. I mean, it just happened so fast and really unexpectedly. I mean, I wasn't looking to go be a head coach, after we were leaving Texas Tech, and be able to sit here after 2 years and kind of go, okay, what do I really want and what do I want it to look like? So therefore you start with Rick Bowie, our new quarterback coach, offensive coordinator. Our tie was Dana Holgerson at West Virginia. Rick was at West Virginia, then went to the University of Houston, went off on his own to become a coordinator at Valdosta State, perennial, power in Division II football. And he absolutely tore it up. So I'm very excited to have Rick. Been very impressed with him and what he's already implemented and the improvement that I've already seen. Then Jason Smith, played at Baylor, was the second guy taken in the 2009 draft. I mean, it gives you instant credibility with players when you have someone, and maybe one of the most intense coaches I've ever been around. Big, large human being, and just brings the energy every single day. On defense, a young man that played for me at the University of Pittsburgh, played with Aaron Donald on that team. And by the name of Jared Hawley, coaching my safeties, has done a tremendous job. And then Aaron Fletcher, he's been at Missouri, Arizona State, did an internship with the Denver Broncos, was at Ole Miss last year, coaching my corners. So you're exactly right. In this day and time, you have to have young men who not only can teach the game, you got to be more than just a coach. You got to be able to teach, you got to coach, you got to be a father figure, you got to be a psychologist. I mean, this generation is just very it's different, and I just think to be able to inspire these players to be their best, man, I've hired some really quality coaches.
Well, and I think the other thing is when you have guys like that on staff, in your background of being at Tech and different places, it's a marketing piece, because when you go into a room and you can say, I've always joked when I coached, I worked Matt Doherty's camp at SMU, and I'm like, that guy's Michael Jordan probably in his phone. But when you start thinking about the connections that these coaches have, like Aaron Donald, like playing in the Power 5 and Big 12 and the Valdosta State, it's not just a D2 school. No. It is one of those. And to me, it's a marketing and recruiting tool, having those guys on staff.
No doubt. And every time you do that, like you say, you just extend your coaching, that coaching tree, and the more relationships, as you know, it's a relationship business, whether it's recruiting players and or whatever. But no, I'm very excited about our entire staff and I look forward to great things.
Now, one of the things that Sam kind of shared when we talk about how you kind of worked with your players and maybe even part of your coaches of buying into how great it is, because one, outside of military and maybe police force and all that, there's not a better camaraderie than coaches. And I think there's not a better camaraderie than Texas coaches, but also West Texas. Talk a little bit about what you did to kind of get your guys not only bought into ACU, but Abilene, West Texas, what it means to be at ACU.
Yeah, I mean, we actually did, beginning back in January, we did an 8-week study. I mean, we started with the city of Abilene and went all the way back to 1881, 1883 when it became the county seat, and went all the way through the history of the university, history of great teams, history of great coaches, great players that have come through ACU. I think you have to create a sense of pride in what you represent and wearing that logo. That was my first mission with everyone, players, coaches included. And then I think it just kind of happened, the whole West Texas thing, from the way I talked to just being coming from Texas Tech and kind of having some natural ties. And I brought 5 people, maybe 6. I've got former player Kosai Eldridge, who just finished playing a year ago at Texas Tech. So we have that already, kind of some already built in natural connections. And like you say, you bring in the caliber of coaches that we brought in this year, and then all of a sudden it just kind of permeates throughout the whole program.
Well, and I think, of course, in the Mall of Abilene is the Big Country Hall of Fame, and you look and you go through, and of course, Coach Al Pickett's going to be on the show next week. The tradition and the people that have come through this area, whether it's a Masters champion like Charles Cootie, Colt McCoy, Case Keenum, but you look at the ACU guys and you look at Knox and you look at Manning and people, of course, Montgomery, one of the biggest of all time, and you take some pride in. And I think that's one of the things that those that are listening, and if you download later, the pride of being from West Texas, but then pride from West Texas, the Big Country, and Abilene, there's a lot of fun here and a lot of tradition that these guys have a chance to make their mark in Abilene.
No doubt. I mean, even like you look at Tonto Coleman, he left ACU and went on to become the commissioner of the SEC. I mean, so there's some things that I try to tie to. That's why we start with the city of Abilene. I mean, in this region of the country, I mean, it's blue collar, hardworking people, and we just want to make sure we put a team on the field that represents that.
Well, and I think, and when you see it every year, and we'll see it probably tonight during the women's game and during the guys' game this week, a lot of these guys may not make it to the pros, but it's nice to have the combination. Hey, there have been people that have made it to the league from ACU, but also when you leave ACU, you're going to be a better man, to be a better father, better dad, husband, person. And to me, that's what sports, and I know people, we always joke when I'm preaching on Sunday how long it takes for a sports analogy to get into the sermon. But that's what sports does, whether it's football, basketball, but that's what sports does. And being a part of a team and being around those guys, it just makes you better.
100. I mean, you look at it, we've put over 75 players into the NFL through ACU, and we've only been a Division I program. Most of those guys came back when it was NAI in Division II. So it is. I talk to our team all the time as I want to see the 35-year-old version of themselves, because it is more than just trying to win football games. It's about, making guys come out. I want to see them be good husbands, good fathers, just like you said, and man, be productive people within their community.
And so what excites you about year 3? What excites you? I know spring is here, and the thing about spring football, it's probably like a great vacation. You're like, oh, that's awesome. And now we got to wait till the next vacation, which is the season starts. What excites you about the 2024 Wildcats?
Yeah, I think I've always been pointing to year 3. I mean, and the reason why, first year we came in, man, we brought in just some energy, good energy, and gave ourselves an opportunity to win and almost win the conference championship year 1. The second year, it's almost kind of like the sophomore slump a little bit for me personally. I thought, hey, I'll just rubber stamp and just do exactly what we did a year ago. And the problem was we had brought in like 40 new people from May 31st to August 1st into our roster. Our program just wasn't quite ready for that number of people to come in. We didn't really have the foundation of our program in place to be able to absorb that many new people. So it took us a while. We lost a couple of tough games where it would have, lose a game by 1, a game by 7 a year ago, or we'd have had a 7-4 record just the same way we did year 1. This year, we've never been at this point where my coaching staff I feel so good about during the spring. The number of quality players that we have going through spring football at this particular time is what brings me great excitement. Yeah, we got a lot of returning guys that have played a lot of football, and just looking forward to a great season.
And so Tech is on the schedule this year, right? That's the big Power 5 one. And so we got a little bit of time. How's the WAC been?
You know what? It's been good. It's like anything else. It's been fluid. With it, we get into the conference, then you have Sam Houston leave, and they go to Conference USA, and then you have Lamar and UIW pulled out and went back to the Southland, and then so we add RGV. They end up, and then all of a sudden now they're going back to the Southland. So it's just it's a little bit of we're spread out like every other conference in America right now. We go all the way from Dixie, Utah, all the way to West Georgia. So, but I love it because it's a very competitive league. I mean, I think on any given Saturday, anyone can win. You got to bring it every week. There's a lot of parity.
Right. Well, and again, the spring game, April 25th.
20th.
April 20th. April 20th. It's Saturday. And then, of course, Texas Tech, August 31st, will kick it off. Just looking, University of Idaho, that's where, if I'm not mistaken, that's where Stink went, Mark Schlereth.
Yeah.
So that'll be a fun home game for folks.
Top 10 team in the country a year ago.
And I'll say this, and then we'll go to commercial. But what I love and hearing some folks that they're, of course, my niece is there, but we have a lot of local kids that go to ACU. And you talk to them, they said, I'm getting an experience like I did leave home. And so I think what's going on at the D1 experience that y'all are doing a good job is getting that experience. When you go watch football, you go watch baseball, you go watch basketball at ACU, you're getting that D1 experience of watching good football, good basketball. And we appreciate you joining us this morning. I know, like I said, I don't care what football is going on the field or off the field. I know you're a busy guy, so I appreciate you taking the time.
You bet. Thank you.
That's Coach Keith Patterson. Again, ACU football, spring game, April 20th. Go check it out, wear your purple. And then, of course, August 31st. Buy your tickets. Bring a lot of purple out there. The new end zone may be up. Who knows? We have no idea. But when we come back, March Madness is here. Caitlin Clark has taken over the country. And does she need to win a championship to solidify her legacy? We'll be back right after this.
Everyone in my family uses electricity differently. But when it comes to our Touchstone Energy Cooperative, we all think about it the same way. The co-op is power. Sure, electricity turns the lights on, but power is the information I get from my co-op about efficiency, safety, technology. And I trust the co-op because we are the co-op.
They're our neighbors.
Our friends. Our home.
You are the most important part of Big Country Electric Cooperative. Call, stop by our offices in Roby, Cider, and Stamford, or visit online at bigcountry.coop.
Hello, Abilene and the Big Country. My name is John Keaty. I am a resident at Disability Resources Incorporated. I'm here to tell you about our document destruction and paper shredding business. Our services include routine pickups, purges, or we accept drop-offs at our state-of-the-art, safe, and secure facility. We are the DRI Shredders, and we are here to assist and serve you in the destruction of your most private documents or any of those annoying boxes that have stacked up over the years. Give us a call at 325-232-6918. Come on out and see us at 3602 North Clack Street. You'll be glad you did.
When it comes to finding the right vehicle for you, there's no better place than Lawrence Hall in Abilene. For over 34 years, Lawrence Hall in Abilene has been the place to find the best from Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC. And that is still true today. Great products and great service too. So the next time you need a new car, truck, or SUV, come see us or shop 24/7 at LawrenceHallAbileneOnline.com. Voted Abilene's best new car dealer for over 28 years by you, our customers.
Miller Lite is the light beer brewed for people who love the taste of beer. For those who are always the first to volunteer for beer runs, who hit up tailgates for sports that they don't even like, and believe having a beer fridge in the garage is non-negotiable. It's a 96-calorie, 3.2 carb love letter to beer lovers who know that the best part of beer is the beer part. Tastes like Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. 2023 Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin beer.
Have you enjoyed the Potosi Live experience yet? If not, you're missing one of the best atmospheres around. With amazing food, great drinks, live music, TVs to watch your favorite sporting events. The Potosi Live team will make sure you have an experience that you're going to tell your friends about. Check out PotosiLive.com or go like them at Potosi Live on Facebook for their upcoming live music and ticket events. Head out to Potosi at 897 FM 1750 for the Potosi Live experience.
Hi, I'm Sharon Riley. Here in Abilene, folks have lots of options for eating out, from large chains to locally owned mom and pops like us. I want you to know we really appreciate your business and are always striving for wonderful food, service, and prices. So we listen to you and have updated our menu, bringing back old favorites like nachos and fajitas and adding more small plates for the light appetites. So come see us. I want to hear you say, yum, yum.
At the Burke Law Firm, we represent injured people and their families. We want you to know that we've actually tried personal injury cases to jury verdicts. When you find yourself in need of a personal injury attorney, make sure to ask your self-described personal injury trial lawyer if they've ever even tried a personal injury case to a favorable jury verdict. Then, if you'd like a sincere opinion on your personal injury case, call me, Trace Burke, at 677-4777.
Tammy, are you crying? There's no crying. There's no crying in mortgages. Buying a home should not make you cry. You deserve a team of mortgage experts who have your best interest at heart. Visit ColemanBank.com and let us help you make your next move. If you are looking for a mortgage team in a league of their own, Coleman County State Bank is the place for you.
Equal housing lender. Member FDIC.
Pest Patrol, Pest Patrol, Pest Patrol. To get a big bright yellow truck coming to your door. Call Pest Patrol.
Hi, I'm Weldon Hurt, and we've been protecting families just like yours with pest problems for 30 years. If you have pest issues, let our family help yours. For service or questions, call or text at 325-673-6700.
A big bright yellow truck coming to your door. Call Pest Patrol.
Welcome back to the Hodge Pack, Sports Live and everything in between. We're rocking and rolling. Misty, how are you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I can hear you, so that's good.
Okay, great.
Yay!
You're welcome.
Actually,
Erica.
is that it? It would have been an interesting end of the show if she was just talking over there and no one could hear her. We could hear her. But
That would be so embarrassing.
I will tell you,
I would hate that.
people would tell us if they couldn't hear Misty.
Well, I don't know.
Our phone would be blowing up with, hey,
They may
where's...
be like, praise the Lord.
No, that's not happening. I can assure you.
Well, jury's out.
Never mind. All right, so we are glad that you're with us this morning. Again, thank you to Coach Patterson coming in to talk a little ACU football. Pretty cool. He's got a guy on staff that played with Aaron Donald. May see if who retired.
That was a good segment. You've done a good job lining this stuff up today. I'm glad that you've got such good guests in. Hopefully the listeners have enjoyed also. Be
sure you download, subscribe, rate, and review if you missed it, and you need to learn more about the cattle auction on Tuesday, April 9th, benefiting DRI. It is March Madness, and it is rolling. Let's talk a little bit. I mean, Caitlin Clark, what she's doing, 12.3 million people watched Monday night. I'll be honest with you. I tried to leave here. I had to go to a conference thing for work in Georgetown, and I wanted to be sure I got to Georgetown in time to get to a place to watch Iowa and LSU.
Yeah, no, same. So Collins had a volleyball game at AYSA, and I have Hulu on my phone. And so Clay and I were watching it at the house before we left, and we had to leave. And so I put it on my phone, and as we were driving down the road, I was like kind of giving him play by play. And then I had it on my leg and was watching Caitlin and watching Collins at the same time, trying to watch her and the game. And then, of course, the UConn game after, that was just amazing. Monday night was awesome. Whether you're a fan of women's sports or not, what is happening on the women's side of March Madness right now has absolutely been so fun to watch.
Well, and Caitlin and Angel Reese made the decision to this past week. She's going to the WNBA. Caitlin Clark earlier made that decision, who would have a year left because of COVID. She has a year of eligibility left. But she's making the decision to go to the WNBA as well. And so I asked y'all, does Caitlin Clark, because, John says the winner of UConn and Iowa is going to be the national champion. And I think a lot of people are forgetting that South Carolina's 36-0 and have not lost a game. And
they look very good.
They are very, very, very good. Does Caitlin Clark need to win the championship, or has she done enough and doesn't need to?
For me, this is going to sound really probably hypocritical, but I am watching her now. I like college basketball. I don't watch the WNBA. I just don't. So I will probably follow her a little bit, but once she's done in college, again, hypocritical, I'm calling myself out. I don't watch the WNBA.
But can she, well, answer that question first. Does she need to win the championship for her legacy, or has she done enough?
Oh my gosh, no. I mean, generational player. She can literally do all the things, the assists, the rebounds, the points. I mean, if you didn't watch Monday night, literally the poor girl from LSU, at one point she turns around and there's a meme and she's like, I can't guard her. Like, how do you guard her? My hand is in her face. She, I think, made 9 threes just that one game. But I mean, she makes everybody around her better. She can literally look you dead in the eye and pass right behind your back and you never saw it coming. Like, it is insane.
She's able to get a shot off as quick as anybody I've ever seen.
A logo shot. I mean, It's insane.
So you're saying no. Josh, does she need to win it all?
No, no, I can't talk. I completely agree with Misty that she has changed people's viewing habits, like we talked earlier, and some of the things that I saw were the ratings of that, a quarterfinal game having that much viewership, more viewership than the NBA finals had last year, the World Series. I mean, like a bunch of major sporting events, and that had more viewership.
Which is crazy, really, when you think about it. The World Series, to me, really, seeing that one game was better than the World Series or had more views, that was, to me, shocking. That for that specifically, not the NBA Finals, just because the NBA has lost its luster, but in my opinion, but that was very shocking that the World Series.
It didn't shock me as much because, I know this group was very invested in the World Series because of Texas, but because of the two markets of Texas and Arizona,
yes, there wasn't any.
Well,
if there's no East Coast or West Coast team in the World Series, the ratings do suffer, and that's just the way that it goes. But we're not even talking about a finals. We're talking about a quarter.
Right.
We were talking an Elite 8 game to try to go to the Final Four, and everybody made sure. Not everybody, but 12.3 million made sure they were somewhere watching that.
Well, they wanted to see, if you remember and watched them play last year in the finals, LSU, you remember Angel Reese, the famous, put the ring up in her hand. And there's that picture of Caitlin just like, I don't see you. Although I see you, I'm walking this way. Everybody watched because we love the drama of sports. That's why we watch it. And everybody wanted to see, what were those two going to do? Was Angel going to, were they going to trash talk? Were they going to have any, exchange like they did last year? And they didn't. There wasn't any of that drama that I think everybody was expecting. I'll be honest. I was like, okay, I'm ready. Like, is Angel going to do the ring thing, or is what's Caitlin going to do? And then there was nothing. They just balled out. Angel had a great game. Obviously Caitlin, I think she ended up with 41 points. It was absolutely insane. And yeah, she's not just a shooter. She will pass. I can't remember how many assists she had, rebounds. She is a scrappy little thing.
Yeah. And I think this weekend's going to be fun. Tonight is the women's Final Four. South Carolina plays NC State. NC State's one of those, we're just glad to be there. And unfortunately has to play South Carolina. And then you've got Iowa and UConn. And you got UConn, who is notoriously was the standard of women's basketball for such a long time. And seeing Paige Buckner come back, and she had a rough year last year being hurt. So the women's Final Four has been very exciting. Now you go to the men's, and you've got, Josh and I talked about this. Well, first of all, Caitlin Clark, NIL estimation dollars is $3.1 million. The highest salary in the WNBA is $241,000.
My point on what we were talking about with what she needs to do, I don't understand why she's leaving. Because to your point, the viewership of the WNBA has never even been in the stratosphere of what is going on here. And I don't know if she changes that going to maybe there's a blip, maybe at first. I don't know that she changes that to where people actually watch that.
Well, and everybody's comparing it to a lot of different things. And funny, I was calling in and I've said all along, two people changed golf: Tiger Woods and Happy Gilmore. More people got involved and paid attention. And when Tiger was playing, they watched it. That's what Caitlin Clark has done. She has become the Tiger Woods of basketball in that people made sure they watched it. And not only did they watch it, they probably stuck around and watched UConn and USC play after. So, and then my other question is, can Caitlin change money for the WNBA like Tiger did? Nobody thought you'd be playing at the Valero Open for $1 million if you win 25 years ago. But Tiger Woods comes on board, and now every tournament, the winner's winning $1 million, no matter the tournament. And then now, obviously, they're even higher. I'm wondering, can Caitlin Clark do that? Will she take, you mentioned, Josh, why leave if you're making $3.1 million to make $3.1 million and $241,000 more?
Well, obviously, she's still going to be on commercials.
Right. But will people watch the Indiana Fever? Will people now? And will it be contagious? And because we talk about it, one of the things that's coming up is we've got Aaliyah Chavez. We've got other players that, because what we've seen is Aaliyah Chavez do those sorts of things at the high school level. Can what Caitlin's doing, will Aaliyah be able to do that in 2 years, what Caitlin's doing?
I don't see it. And maybe I'll eat crow, but the WNBA, I just don't know that it's ever going to be more exciting than college basketball. That's just my personal opinion. I love the game, played it. I love basketball, but it's just not my jam. Like, I'm in for the college series, but I do not watch WNBA.
But I think
it's not entertaining to me.
But I think, and even women's basketball is elevated over the last few years, and they've had some greats: Diana Taurasi, Candace Parker, Sue Bird, Maya Moore.
They couldn't do it. They couldn't elevate it.
So that's going to be the question: can Caitlin? And we won't know. We will not know until it's over. This college season's over. She gets to the WNBA to see what she does.
Now, it may, like Josh's point, I think there may be a blip, increase, but it will eventually lose its luster. I just don't know that that's ever going to change. Regardless of who it is, I just really don't see it changing.
So, and we'll see, because the marketing person with the WNBA is about to get their Tiger Woods, is about to get their LeBron James, and you're going to have to figure out how do we make her, and honestly, Angel Reese.
Well, you're right. What do you think? I mean, what is your opinion?
I have a better chance next year of turning on a TV to watch a WNBA game because of Caitlin Clark than I have ever before.
But you'll just kind of see but you'll just kind of see kind of how the first few games, and then am going to fall off, like, or you're dedicated. You're like, yes, I'm in it. I'm following this girl in her journey for however many years in the WNBA.
I think that I do. I think I will watch, and then if her domination carries over to the WNBA, I could see myself. Now, I'm not going to probably try to catch every Fever game.
Right.
But I've got a better chance of turning it on next year than I have ever before.
Yeah.
Because of Caitlin Clark.
Well, but 1,000 times 0 is 0. So I'm out.
Josh is out.
No, it really will not change anything. I will be a casual observer of maybe some highlights to see what's going on. There is a 0% chance that I will actively turn on a WNBA game because Caitlin Clark is playing.
What about you?
Yeah, I mean,
are you going to be like me? You're going to put your toe in the water and see what happens?
I'm going to see what happens, but I'm probably not going to sit and watch like a whole game. I may watch a quarter or two or here or there, but yeah, I don't think that I'll be a continual watcher of the WNBA regardless of who's in it.
Gotcha.
But I have not missed a game for college.
All right, we got about 15 seconds. Does South Carolina win or does Iowa?
I've got to go Iowa. I'm excited.
You think Iowa wins it all?
I'm going Iowa.
South Carolina.
Yeah, I think South Carolina is going to be too much. I think Don Staley will probably find a way.
Top to bottom rosters is.
They have definitely more weapons. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I agree. It's a great March Madness. Caitlin Clark, Mr. Burns from NC State, Edie battling tomorrow. When we come back, knowing's half the battle.
Hello, Abilene and the Big Country. My name is John Keaty. I am a resident at Disability Resources Incorporated. I'm here to tell you about our document destruction and paper shredding business. Our services include routine pickups, purges, or we accept drop-offs at our state-of-the-art, safe, and secure facility. We are the DRI Shredders, and we are here to assist and serve you in the destruction of your most private documents or any of those annoying boxes that have stacked up over the years. Give us a call at 325-232-6918. Come on out and see us at 3602 North Clack Street. You'll be glad you did.
Our community. It's where we live. It's where we work. And as your Touchstone Energy Cooperative, we know our community isn't just important, it's everything. Which is why we're grateful for your trust to provide the energy you need every day. Because for us, there's nothing more important than giving you the power to power on.
You are the most important part of Big Country Electric Cooperative. Call, stop by our offices in Roby, Cider, and Stamford, or visit online at bigcountry.coop.
That to-do list you have needs one more thing. Chill. It's an easy thing to do. Just crack open an ice-cold Coors Light and chill. Take the afternoon off and binge watch anything. Go to happy hour and stay for a couple hours. Who's counting anyways? Or hang out with just your dog, because you've had enough human interaction this week. Whatever you do it with Coors Light. Mountain cold refreshment made to chill. 2020 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
Have you enjoyed the Potosi Live experience yet? If not, you're missing one of the best atmospheres around. With amazing food, great drinks, live music, TVs to watch your favorite sporting events. The Potosi Live team will make sure you have an experience that you're going to tell your friends about. Check out PotosiLive.com or go like them at Potosi Live on Facebook for their upcoming live music and ticket events. Head out to Potosi at 897 FM 1750 for the Potosi Live experience.
When it comes to finding the right vehicle for you, there's no better place than Lawrence Hall in Abilene. For over 34 years, Lawrence Hall in Abilene has been the place to find the best from Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC. And that is still true today. Great products and great service too. So the next time you need a new car, truck, or SUV, come see us or shop 24/7 at LawrenceHallAbileneOnline.com. Voted Abilene's best new car dealer for over 28 years by you, our customers.
Hi, I'm Sharon Riley. Here in Abilene, folks have lots of options for eating out, from large chains to locally owned pops like us. I want you to know we really appreciate your business and are always striving for wonderful food, service, and prices. So we listen to you and have updated our menu, bringing back old favorites like nachos and fajitas and adding more small plates for the light appetites. So come see us. I want to hear you say, yum, yum.
The time has changed and it's time to hit the range at Mulligan Sports Bar, Grill, and Golf. Come relax on the patio, hit golf balls on the driving range, play 18 holes, and go enjoy a delicious meal, cold drinks with friends. Head to 1166 Ben Ritchie Drive, Mulligan Sports Bar, Grill, and Golf. You'll be glad you did.
Pest Patrol, Pest Patrol, Pest Patrol. To get a big bright yellow truck coming to your door. Call Pest Patrol.
Hi, I'm Weldon Hurts, and we've been protecting homes and businesses for 30 years right here in the Big Country. If you need service or just have questions, call or text at 325-673-6700.
The big bright yellow truck coming to your door. Call Pest Patrol.
The Hodge Pack, sports life, and everything between. We're glad that you're with us. Now it is time for one of our favorite moments of the day, learning and getting a little smarter.
Now we know.
And knowing is half the battle.
All right. Good morning, everybody. I do want to share a little bit of knowledge that I learned yesterday that might come in handy. I'm not sure why, but it's a possibility. I mean, things happen. As we talked about earlier, I went to the Parker McCollum concert last night at the Taylor County Expo. Sold out, packed, which I do think that is in general a very good thing for the city when events come to town and they do well, because that will encourage more events and that'll be more fun things to do. So it was a great night. Saw a lot of people, a lot of friends of the show, but I had one little hiccup in my evening that just kind of dampened it a bit. And that is when we arrived. We had to wait in line, off of Loop 322 to get in, packed, lots of stuff going on, have to park a long way from the door, which, it's good. I need a little exercise. So that's fine, enjoying the nice weather, walk, get in a very long line to try to get into the facility. When I finally get up there, they waved me with the wand and told me I couldn't bring in my pocket knife. Now, I've been to a lot of events there, and they might have this security protocol at other events there. I have never run into that. So that's the first thing. So it was a long walk back to the truck, especially the first half when I was very angry. But I did ask for some clarification because I asked the lady there with the wand. I said, when has this been a thing? Been a thing? I've never had this before. She's like, well, this has always been a thing. You can't bring a knife and you can't bring a gun. And I was like, well, I understand not wanting to bring a gun. I don't know what anyone's going to do with a pocket knife per se, but I don't know. But I said, what about brass knuckles? She had no response to that. So she just looked at me and was like, all right, we're good with those. And I went to the pickup. So what you need to know is you apparently can take brass knuckles to the Coliseum. You cannot take a knife and you cannot take a gun. So,
do you have the knife on you right now?
Well, yeah.
I would like to see this knife.
Well,
let's see
a pocket knife.
Okay, so it's got a blade, like a pretty, like you could shank someone.
Well,
you could definitely like kill somebody.
Goal, but,
go to the gut and twist.
And that leads to this. In general, I know that this walk through security thing has become more and more prevalent. It's more and more places. That didn't exist all that long ago. I mean, I remember having this exact thing happen at a Rangers game where I have been to triple digits of Rangers games that I had a pocket knife in my pocket. And then one particular, day we go and get in line and now you can't take a pocket knife. It wasn't against the rules. Then, so I have to walk back to the truck. The only time that's ever happened to me in Taylor County until last night was at the courthouse, and they have all their rules and and all that. So I get that, but anyway, brass knuckles are allowed.
Do you have a pair of brass knuckles?
No, but now I think I need to get some.
I would like a pair.
Well, I would love to, for some reason, wish you did last night. hey, ma'am, no worries. Knife's up, but I got these. Not sure what I'm going to use them for, but we're good.
Yeah.
You never know. Honestly, that may be one of the truest knowing half the battle education moments that we have had on the show, because you can't have it on the airport and stuff like that. There's been a lot of walk of shames having to go put stuff back, or
multiple people that I talked to last night had the same thing, got to the line and then had to go back. So
I've seen a lot of people just like throw them away. Like if it's like one that didn't have any like sentimental value or whatever, just chunk it. Like we're moving forward.
I have done that in the past. The one that I carry now is a little more expensive than I just want to toss over there. The one time that I got to the courthouse and realized I couldn't go in with one, the sheriff deputy told me I couldn't have the knife. So I walked outside and I sat it in the flower bed. And I said, keep an eye on that. When I walked back in, he got a chuckle out of that, but it was still there when I came back. So I guess
you pick it up.
Yeah, I got it when I came back, so he thought that was funny. I have been, the first time I went to Jerry World, I walked in and this was still at the time where you could take a knife to the baseball stadium across the street. But I go and they have the scanners there and I'm like, oh man, I got my knife in my pocket. It's a long walk back. So I came up with a plan. You had to have your cell phone in your hand and hold it above your head when you went through the thing. So I just put my knife in my hand behind my cell phone, put my hand up and walked right in. Like, there you go.
You criminal.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
People are so educated.
See,
criminal.
There's other things. You can also put it in your hat. Like I've done that before at events. You put it in your hat on the little band, And then even if they make you pull your hat up, it's there. You're good.
Wow. He has really thought this through.
I get tired of having to walk back to the truck. So you just come up with other plans.
Really, you've not learned your own lesson to not bring it.
Just don't bring the dang thing in, Josh.
You're right. That's
knowing is half the battle.
Most of the time is self-help. So that's what I'm here for. But just be aware of that. And but like I said, it was a nice night. The exercise was good. Walking, I don't know, half a mile back to my truck and back. But now I know. Get to stand in line twice at the ticket thing. But all was good in the end. It was a fun time.
Well, and you mentioned it. It is good to see Cassie, who was here with John, mention. That was the first sellout that they thought since ZZ Top. Came however many years ago. But it is good to see that because I know we're older but like in 95, 96, I remember seeing George Strait and Brooks and Dunn and of course Garth came when he was early in his career, 90 something. But it is good seeing those. And they've got Co Wetzel coming up in October. So hopefully we'll start seeing more of those acts pop in and stay, shout out to all those that have been bringing them, like our friends at Potosi Live. And of course, Mark brought in Outlaws, and we've had some, but continuing to be that spot for people to come to Abilene, whether it's at Potosi Live or whether it is Outlaws or the Coliseum, to see that I think is good for Abilene because we're out in the middle. We're going to catch some tour buses. So being able to see those, of course, the Paramount's been bringing people and, but it is good. I'm glad they had a good crowd last night. I thought it was funny on Facebook how usually it was like everybody wants reserve seats, but I saw people posting wanting trying to trade their reserve seats for general admission for their kids because I guess they wanted to be up there. Was the floor just packed?
Yeah, the floor was a mosh pit. There were no sections or chairs or anything like that, so it was just I guess first come, first serve, crowd the stage, type of environment there, kind of the more traditional, I guess honky tonk concert, not the sit in your chair type of thing. And then the horseshoe obviously was assigned seats and completely full. But it really was a good time. And next time I'll just know not to take my knife, but maybe invest in some brass knuckles.
Did you have the same one, lady?
Yes, I went to the same one.
You're like, I'm back.
I was like, no,
you're letting me in.
I was like, no knife this time.
That's so funny.
It'd have been more funny if she didn't trust you and patted you down.
Step over here, sir.
You're on the list.
Yeah.
Molly, go enjoy the show. I'm going to be right here.
Yeah.
So we've got a little bit of time. We're just going to take it up to the hour. But knowing it's at the battle, it is important, though, because we're going to transition into WrestleMania. But that's the thing that you've got to learn these things now because a lot of places, next week is the Masters. You don't bring your phone in. Your purse has got your bag. If you're bringing anything in, they've got a box. And if it doesn't fit in there, you're making a trip back. That happened with Tracy one time. We went to a Rangers game, and sure enough, Hodge was walking back to put the purse up. But you need to know that. And now the big thing is clear bags.
Yes.
If you're going to a stadium and whether it's at Tarleton or AT&T or Globe Life, wherever, you better know those things because nobody gets great parking unless you've got season tickets and you're loaded and that.
Yeah, it's a long walk.
Ladies, don't bring your purses. Just leave them in the
find
car.
something that's boom, it's here, it's over the crossbody, whatever it's called. That's all you need to wear. And because it is a pain to make that walk back because deep down and we've got time before we get to the WrestleMania part. How long did it take you? Because I've been around you where you kind of get a little frustrated. How long did it take you to come back down to, you know what?
It's not that big of a deal.
It was half the walk back because as I got about halfway back, there was a group of kids that were there and they were doing beer bongs and that made me laugh a little bit and I was in a good mood. Yeah, I didn't ask if I could partake, but they seemed a little rowdy for me. But
Frank the Tank.
Yeah, no. What would have been funny is you're like, let me show you how it's done, kids.
So anyway, I got a chuckle out of that, and then it was good. But we did park a long ways away.
Feels so good when it touches my lips. But I will tell you on another part of that, and we're going to get to the WrestleMania part, is that getting early to not have to do that is another thing. Nobody's ever punished anybody for getting there too early. Now, obviously,
you can sit and wait, but
right. Yeah.
So, but anyway,
I was sorry to interrupt, but I was just surprised by that because I thought we were, the show started at 7:30. We were getting there about 7:10. Like so. I thought we were on the early side, and when we exited 322 and the line was backed up like all the way to like TSTC over there, I was like, man, I really underestimated the earliness of the crowd.
Well, that tells me that because I've got tickets for Coetzel, that tells me that I need to get there like 45 minutes early or, start my trek that way. So
find a back road or
something.
Parking place that's easy to get to. I don't know, but it was good. But yeah, a lot of people, long walk.
So again, great show last night, and I know our buddies out Potosi Live kind of helped with some of that last night. Moy and those folks are always fantastic people and great to work with. So WrestleMania, we threw this out. WrestleMania is this week. We got a little bit of time left, but we threw this out on Facebook. And I think some people just went straight wrestlers, which is fine. But if you've been signed up for a 6-man tag match, WrestleMania this week, again, The Rock's wrestling, Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns. I mean, it is now, it's kind of like football. The guys that played back in the day did not make the money they make today. It's the same thing for wrestlers. The guys, I mean, you had Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair that probably made some pretty good coin and all that, but what they're making today is probably unbelievable. So if you had to have a 6-man tag, who are you? Here's some of them while y'all think. Josh Sweet says Ultimate Warrior or Macho Man, as long as I wasn't having to supply the – oh, never mind. I can't finish that.
Bleep.
Matt Bell, HBK, Triple H. And he's only got 2 words for you. Y'all know what those are. Cole Ward says him, Mick Foley, and Stone Cold. Adam Thompson says Ric Flair and the Macho Man. We'd have the greatest promos ever. And then MG Dean says Andre the Giant and Stone Cold Steve Austin. So who would you want to be your 6-man tag going into WrestleMania?
Oh, I definitely would go with the Undertaker for one. If I'm sticking in the wrestling genre, but I don't know how good of a tag team it would be because he seems like he's the undead, so I don't know if he has partners. But I think I would have a hard time with the next one because there's so many that I like. Ultimate Warrior obviously was good, and Macho Man, the Stone Cold. Legendary, you mentioned Hulk Hogan. He's on that list. I don't know, but maybe I would go with Tugboat.
Tugboat. That is a throwback. Tugboat and the Undertaker. That'd be a good one.
We're very tall. That's what I'm going for. Height.
I'm going for what was his name with the mask? Rey Mysterio.
Rey Mysterio Jr.
I'm going to go with Rey. I feel like we're like the same stature. I'll go him, and then I'll do a throwback and pick Hulk.
Hulk Hogan would be a good one. Yeah.
I'd go for Hulk and Rey. We got all the sizes.
Now, when I grew up, of course, again, TBS, of course, I'm ready for the Iron Claw to come out on somewhere where I can watch it. But Nikita Koloff was, of course, he's been on the show. Nikita Koloff was the Russian Nightmare. He'd be pretty cool. And I think you got to go with the man that was, the Macho Man was good, but I just think Dusty Rhodes was funny and was pretty good. In honor of Cody Rhodes is wrestling, I would go Dusty Rhodes, Nikita Koloff, but the Undertaker's pretty fantastic. I'm not gonna lie. Best intro, I think. Just the
scary,
the ding, and then boom, and it's like, you're nervous.
And John Cena, isn't he like? What was he called?
John Cena.
Just John. He didn't have any. I did not watch wrestling, so I couldn't remember. Did he have like Misty, an alter ego?
No, he was the one this came out of.
Well, then I'll take him too.
All right, there you go. John Cena, WrestleMania 40. We'll see what happens if The Rock. He's like I said, he's UFL, all the things.
What The Rock is cooking.
Yeah.
Well, smell what's cooking. Head over to Lotto Land and Cattle. Get you a Hodge Pack this weekend. Have a great week. Download, subscribe, rate, and review. JB Cloud coming in. Greg Austin later this afternoon. Appreciate it. We'll see you next week.
And action! KLGD, Stamford, Abilene, 106.9 FM. Your home